What are you seeing out of the Steelers? Because it doesn't feel. I mentioned in hour one, Kurt. Remember that game you and I called in Indianapolis when Trubisky wasn't doing it, and Gardner Minshew was for the Colts, right? You remember that day? And they basically handed Mason Rudolph a mop with like 5 minutes to go, and then Rudolph took the team over. They did make the playoffs. They got one and done by Buffalo. But it struck me, Kurt, like as if this is a different feeling with Rodgers and the way that they've been playing the last 3 weeks. Am I off? What are you seeing, Kurt?
No, you're not off. I haven't had a chance to really dive into the tape from yesterday quite yet. But I think you're seeing a more confident team. I think you're seeing a team that's making some more big plays, which has really been the difference. Early in the year offensively, maybe outside of that Jets game, to kind of start the season, they didn't make any big plays. And so it was really methodical, and they, and usually when you don't have a great offense, you don't have anything you can hang your hat on, and you have to be methodical. At some point in time, you're going to make a mistake and you're not going to score points. And that was kind of really the MO of this team until that Baltimore game a few weeks ago, and they hit a number of big plays down the field. And then last Monday night, it was still more methodical, but they hit some big plays to DK for a touchdown. And then MVS caught a longer play for a touchdown. And so they're starting to add that into the mix. And that to me has really been what the difference is these past few weeks of building some more confidence, is that they're not just going to be this dink and dunk team and 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Yesterday, they got some huge runs, maybe not as many pass plays, but they got a couple huge runs from Jalen Warren. And that to me is the difference maker with a good offense in the National Football League, is the ability to get explosive plays. They were, very average offensively when they didn't get them. Now that they've been getting them, it's an uptick in who they are offensively. Feeds into some of the things that they do defensively, and now they're playing much better football than they have all year long.
And again, I don't want to dive into games that you really haven't seen the film on. So which games have you already seen, maybe? What have you looked at? What have you checked out for QB confirmation?
So I watched the Jacksonville and Denver game, which was obviously a big game. And, Trevor Lawrence just continues to play good football. I mean, talk about a team that pushes the ball down the field. I mean, I showed it a little yesterday on game day morning, but this isn't a dink and dunk team by any means. This is not a team that's just going to throw the ball at the line of scrimmage. They are going to threaten you down the field. Brian Thomas, who was struggling early in the year, has kind of come into his own. Jacoby Myers, which I think was an unbelievable pickup for them. The trade with Las Vegas has paid huge dividends. Travis Etienne has got a spring back in his step where he did early in his career and then, kind of lagged for a while. And man, he's back doing some things. I mean, they are playing really good football, and Trevor just seems to be locked in terms of what they're asking him to do and getting to the right guy and playing on schedule. And, all those plays that we've talked about numerous times with Trevor, where you go into games and there's 5 or 6 plays that you just kind of shake your head and you can't figure out, how that happened or how he missed that or why he made that decision. He's not making those right now. And they went into Denver and really just beat down this really good Broncos defense. They had no answer. It's fun to watch them right now. And the more I watch them, the more I think, man, this is a team that could contend in the AFC because they're playing really good on defense. They good run defense. They don't give up a lot of big plays. And then they got a lot of playmakers on offense.
So let's take these two together because they've got first-year head coaches that have instilled a confidence within them, and we're seeing dividends. I might be oversimplifying what's going on with Caleb and Ben Johnson and Trevor and Liam Cohen. Let's take them one at a time. What throws are you seeing Trevor Lawrence make where you're like, yeah, that's the one that he's been missing. That's the one that's been an issue. What are you seeing? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Trevor is that you could never put your finger on it because, you would watch him play and he would make a specific throw, the week before. And then he comes back the next week and he just flat out misses it. Or, he would run a play and make good decisions on that play. And then he comes into a game and all of a sudden he just makes a terrible decision. And you're like, you've made this decision numerous times really well, and now you come in. And so those are the things that left you scratching your head, because it wasn't just, oh, this one throw he can't make. He's shown the ability to do everything. It's just there was an inconsistency there that would just kind of drive you crazy. And I don't know what it was. I mean, you remember when we talked to him over in London, and he was talking about how nobody had ever really talked to him about tying his feet to the throws. And I was dumbfounded by it. I'm like, You're serious? Nobody's talked to you about your drop connecting to the throw that you're making, and so you're on time and on schedule? And he's like, no, my drops have always kind of been the same, and I just kind of do it and go play. And he said this year, they're focusing more on that. So maybe that's a little bit of the detail, like getting your feet set and getting them lined up, and having a purpose behind every drop that you take so it connects and your body is ready to make those throws. I don't know. I mean, I look forward to having a conversation with them and seeing how that progressed from the time that we talked to him in London. But I think part of it too is getting comfortable with an offense. We always ask the question, how long does it take a quarterback to get 100% comfortable in a new system with what the coach is asking him to do? And that was another thing that he mentioned. A lot of things in the run game where I got to check to this and that, and little things that I have to see. And so he was still trying to find his groove with that. And these last 3 or 4 weeks, he seems to be in that groove, know exactly what he's looking at, and then being able to be lined up to make those big throws over and over again.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.